This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Rooker, it's a fly ball to deep center. Robert going back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
And clubs.
Adolis Garcia swings on the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the wall. Legend grows. Ronald Acuna, another milestone in a truly historic season.
Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field.
It's Glaber Day. And like a good Glaber.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to Stuff Plus to walk-off dingers. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I can tell you this. You need to come see us in the Treehouse. Not just because the Baltimore Orioles are in town. Not just because this is the last. This is what? After this, there's 5 home series left for the A's at the Coliseum. Not just because the A's are hot. They've won some games in a row. I can tell you where we are in the Treehouse, Mount Davis. I am looking right now at downtown Oakland. If I walk over here, I can see downtown San Francisco. So it's not only one of the best views in the world. The breeze that I'm getting off the bay, it's like the best air conditioning you could have. So if you are too hot right now in your house and it's smoking hot and you're like, I can't handle it anymore. If you come here, is it not absolutely perfect in here? It's perfect. It does not feel like a heat wave at all. This is like the best natural air conditioning you can have in the United States of America right now. We were downstairs talking to some of the Orioles, including our buddy, former A. Cole Irvin, and they're talking about how horrible it is in Baltimore. Did anybody watch the highlight show last night of Minnesota? Anybody watch?
I just know the game was called early.
It is so hot and nasty in Minnesota and rainy, they called the game, not cold rain. It's 90-something degrees with humidity. They called the game. Tarps came out. They called the game. So weather is awful everywhere in the United States. If you hate heat, you hate humidity. Right now here in the Treehouse, it is absolutely perfect. Like we could get a barbecue going, put some lawn chairs down, and have this is like 4th of July, baby. We have an outstanding show for you. I'm really looking forward to you seeing the Mark Kotsay show today. As you know, with Mark Kotsay, we've been moving around the Coliseum with him when the show has been done here from the Coliseum. We go to an area that not even I had ever been in today. It is really a recuperation room for the Athletics. It is one for health. It's one for mental health. They have the old cryo machine in there where you get into your neck and it freezes your body for like a minute. Have you ever seen one of these things?
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
Kobe Bryant was big in it. I remember and I'll talk about this with Mark Kotsay. The Dallas Mavericks and Mark Cuban they're one of the first to get it, where you basically cryo freeze yourself. And what happens is your body, the way your body reacts when it gets super cold is your body naturally pumps the blood back to your heart. It goes into survival mode. The most important organ you got is your heart.
Fact, yes.
Right? So everything starts to leave your limbs, and what happens is that the blood goes into your heart, and it enriches. And so they get in there for like 45 seconds to a minute. You get out, and what happens is that enriched blood flows back through your veins out throughout your body, and supposedly is really, really good for you and helps you heal. So they have all kinds of these different boots that are for swelling and inflammation, and sometimes it's just turn the lights out. It's got that humming sound from the cryo machine, and you can just relax if you got a headache, you got a migraine, or if you just need some peace by yourself. So it's really a therapy room for the Athletics that we've never been in. Today, you go into that room with the manager, Mark Kotsay.
It was cool to see Kotsay uses a blanket, too, so you get to see that whole thing as well during the interview with Mark Kotsay.
That was a beer keg that just went by.
I wonder what kind of beer it was. Oh, he's gone now.
Probably Budweiser or
Yeah.
something like that.
Crack staff, can you hand me the happy hour list of
We are here for happy hour. We're going to be here all the way till 6 o'clock. Once again, Mark Kotsay is going to be here. Cole Irvin's going to be here. And the biggest story, one of the biggest stories, and I got the MLB notes today. I got every game. I got something from every game. The biggest story is not reported in here. The biggest story has happened on A's Cast.
Oh, I have the video clip.
All right, get ready. Get ready. The biggest story has happened on A's Cast. Joey Estes threw a Maddox. The first time we've seen a complete game shutout in a long, long time. Back-to-back shutouts for the first time since 2021. So the team has gotten 2 straight shutouts. Mark Kotsay, we'll ask him about it. We'll have some fun with that. But literally one of the biggest stories in sports is what's happening here on A's Cast. And since we do multiple shows a day, it's just not this show, as you know. We have A's Total Access, which is our pregame show. That's just getting you ready for the game. But after the show, we have if the front office on Sirius XM can say the award-winning MLB Clubhouse show, the most popular show, no doubt, on A's Cast is a Clubhouse show. It's a call-in show. It's a live show. It's a show that I created years ago when I said, you know what, we're going to do more like a talk show. I'm not going to sit there and give you every highlight, and we're going to hear the manager and blah, blah, blah. No, we're going to get right to the calls. It's going to be about you, the fans. It's the most downloaded show on A's Cast by a lot. Well, George in San Francisco, one of our favorite callers, nicknamed Scott Emerson Dr. Emo because he fixed Shintaro Fujinami. And since...
Paging.
No, go ahead.
Dr. Emo.
Since Shintaro has left Dr. Emo, he's not been the same. So we've called him Dr. Emo for a while now. Well, then, our great callers start thinking about it. And then Road Trip Mike and the Renegades, they actually had a doctor's coat made with Dr. Emo on it. We presented this to Scott Emerson. Can we roll the videotape? And if you're just listening, you will hear the audio. Clubhouse show has grown. We have so many people from so many different areas calling us, and we have such great callers. One of our great callers, George in San Francisco, came up with the nickname Dr. Emo because Scott Emerson supposedly fixes all the pitchers. And his favorite pitcher, because George from San Francisco from Japan, is Shintaro Fujinami. And they talk a lot about you, by the way, in Japan as a guy who fixed Shintaro Fujinami, and they want people in Japan want Fuji to come back so you could fix him again. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't realize you were big in Japan. So one of our listeners said, Dr. Emo, we've got to get the coat for him, double XL with Dr. Emo on it. This is how big you're getting on the postgame show and on this show. We have fans making you a lab coat, a doctor's coat.
Yeah, I love it.
For your collection.
Double XL, that's the problem there. I got to get this thing down to XL. But I appreciate it.
You got to hang that in the locker.
I got to hang it in the locker. This will go in the locker for sure.
Well, did it go in the locker? Yes, it did. What has happened since the lab coat went in the locker, which now, with the fight for cancer and everything that we give out, and whether we have stickers and we have different pens and stuff, he's starting to put those on the coat that's in the A's coach's office. It's hanging right now. I have seen it. What has happened since the pitching coach was given the coat? What has happened?
Well, we've had back-to-back shutouts, which is what you said last time was 2021. We're looking to have 3 straight shutouts for the first time since 96.
We had a complete game for the first time in 515 games.
Lots got to do with Shamanaya.
Do you not understand the significance of this? Mark Kotsay had never sent a pitcher out to the mound in the 9th inning. Mark Kotsay, as a manager, never had a complete game. The front office doesn't want complete games. They may say they do. They're lying to you. They don't want one.
We've seen a couple. I mean, Like I made the joke. I said, are we seeing return of it? Because Justin Steele just had one today for the Cubs against the Angels of all teams as well.
But do you not get it? The pitching coach was honored with a doctor's coat by Road Trip Mike and the Renegades. They made it. And since then, we've done something that hadn't been done in 515 games. And then we follow that up with another shutout that hasn't happened since 2021. I don't know about you, but it is July 2024. 2021 seems like a lifetime ago.
It was 3 years ago.
So
exactly, or a little over.
You're trying to tell me right now you do not believe there's any significance in the coat and all of a sudden us doing something that we hadn't seen in years.
Oh, no, I totally do, because it was funny you brought it up because you walked in and you said, hey, the code. I'm like, I already put it on the playbook for today. Like, with this, that's a like number one thing on there.
How's it not?
Really, I mean, you guys might not be able to see it, but literally the first thing I put on there says 2-0 with 2 shutouts since Dr. Emo coat was presented.
If the pitching staff goes, if Hogan Harris goes out and the pitching staff goes out tonight and deals again and the A's win, and now that's 4 in a row, but that's 3 in a row with the coat. At some point, I expect MLB Network to start sending a crew here. We might have something. We may have the #1 story in all of Major League Baseball happening right now at the Coliseum. You don't think there's significance to this kind of stuff? There is. That's why people in baseball are superstitious. That's why Mark Ling, our PR guy, is wearing the head PR guy, public relations, is wearing the same shoes for the 4th straight day because if the A's win, he wears the same shoes. You don't think there's something to all of this? How could we give the guy a coat and then all of a sudden you have 2 shutouts, which we haven't seen since 2021, and a Maddox we hadn't seen since Rich Harden was the last guy who had the Maddox?
2005, yeah. 2005. I mean, almost 20 years ago.
We give him a coat and you see something you haven't seen in 20 years and you don't think there's a significance to that?
Well, that's like, I mean, you mentioned the shoes. Remember earlier when we were giving away the headband? I wore the headband in here the one day and they kept winning, so I had to keep wearing it until they finally lost. Like now it's the coat, and hopefully the coat sticks.
This is different because that headband was not made out of love.
That's true. It was made for everyone.
This coat is made out of love, right? You have A's fans who love the team, who wanted to do something special for a coach. Let's face it, Scott Emerson gets talked more about here than any other pitching coach in baseball. There's something. Am I going to be shocked tonight? Am I overselling this? Well, let's see. What if Hogan Harris goes out and deals? Just the fact that the team's playing better and the coat, it's an awesome story.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we're always looking for positives. You're always selling, what is it, hope and
I sell hope and worry, and right now
it's all hope.
I have nothing to worry about. I'm selling hope.
And it's been great since it was like an idea from callers on the Ace Clubhouse show.
Yes.
833-625-2278. If you want to call in right now.
I mean, the fact that these people who stay with us when they don't have to, and they're staying loyal, and what it's producing is something awesome. So the doctor's coat is 2-0. It's the #1 story we have for you today. Orioles are in town. Cole Irvin, once again, will be joining us here on I don't even have times. You have times?
Cole's at 5. We're supposed to have Martín Gallegos in a few minutes. Joey Estes will be up after batting practice, and then Mark Kotsay will be at 5:30.
If Martín Gallegos does not know about the coat, I'm going to question, what are you doing with your job?
You got to tell him to go in the clubhouse and ask about it after every game.
I mean, if I have to hear again, well, the guy used more sweeper this game, you think that's the story? That's not the story.
It's the love of the jacket, the coat.
It's the love of the fan base given back to the team. If the team ever needed love, and by the way, starting to be pretty right on the whole love thing about what we have talked about. I mentioned it the other night about Marcus Semien when he had 35 errors. You know, when you have players that you believe in and you have players that you think can be good and really help you out, and you want to believe in them and you put your arm around them the way Billy Beane did and the way Bob Melvin did with Marcus Semien, you say, hey, you know, Marcus, we know you're the butcher of Oakland, but we're going to keep throwing you out there, and we're even going to bring in a coach and Ron Washington, and we're going to help you get better. I mean, that's what you need to do with Lawrence Butler. And all of a sudden, Lawrence Butler is hitting home run down the line, home run to left center. Lawrence Butler, you can talk about a tweak in a cage all you want. Yes, that helps. But the confidence, and we have talked, and I've talked off the air with Lawrence Butler about it. It's tough to play when you go for 4 and you show up today and you go, am I playing today? It is so much better for these young kids. And that's why I've been saying old guys got to go. And that's why you tell the young kids, you know, you go 0 for 4, you go 0 for 12, you go 0 for 16. I don't care. You're in there. Marcus Semien, I don't care how many errors you make. So I've also said about Tyler Soderstrom at first base, which, by the way, he made like a Willie Mays style catch. It was great. And you see how athletic he is for a big kid. But you need to tell Zach Geloff, you're not coming out. Max Schumann right now, I know Jacob Wilson's the future. I talk a lot about Jacob Wilson. We should. But right now, Max Schumann, you're not moving. Brett Harris, we're going to give you a run. Toro, I actually talked to Toro today. I went down. Before we filmed the Mark Kotsay show, I went over and talked to Toro, Abraham Toro, and I said, hey, man, how you feeling? What are we looking at? So he thinks like right after the All-Star break, he's going to be back. But until Toro comes back, Brett Harris, you're playing third, right? You got to give these young guys an opportunity to learn how to succeed and fail. Find out. Luis Medina needs to pitch. Hogan Harris needs to pitch. Joey Estes needs to pitch. I believe in Mitch Spence, too. I think all these just not need to pitch. They need to start. They need to start. This is what if you develop and win with these guys now, and they learn how to win now, what do you think that happens next year in Sacramento in the next couple of years? How different are you when these guys learn the rest of the way? And now they're starting to feel it a little bit. We talked about it with David Forrest, what it means to play together, travel together, eat together, party together, become friends, become teammates, continuity, friendship, loyalty, trust. You don't get that when you just bring in a mixed bag every single year. You now have a bunch of guys who are playing together. Blade has been here. Rooker has been here. Geloff has been here. Soderstrom, I mean, he's now been here for a while, right? These guys all know Lawrence Butler. They know Langoliers. McCann's becoming that guy. Schumann's becoming that guy. The pitching staff, have these guys know each other, play together. It's amazing and you know where we learned that? And I'm not going to compare them to the 70s teams, but that's what happened in the 70s. You guys don't want to remember it. Well, a lot of you weren't even born. I wasn't either, but their continuity didn't start in Oakland. And I know it's a touchy subject, all this kind of stuff, but their continuity started in Kansas City. And that team was ripped from Kansas City and brought to Oakland. And that's where the continuity started. And that's what you need to allow these guys to play. And it's not always going to be roses. And when you bring in Jace Peterson and Aletmus Diaz, oh, really? It's time to allow the young guys to play. You just going to stand there all day, or what are you going to do, Martín Gallegos? What are you doing? Grab a headset and get over here. What do you got? What do you got?
That was great. That was great content right there. I was just listening to you. It was great.
It's not my first rodeo, bro. Let's
Sure
go.
not.
By the way, are you covering what's happening with Scott Emerson and the doctor's code he was given by the A's fans and what has happened the last 2 days?
I'm going to have to look into that. I saw you give him the coat, and that looked very interesting. It looks like a possible future newsletter coming soon.
What's happened the last 2 days since he received the coat?
Well, back-to-back shutouts. So,
when's the last time we saw back-to-back shutouts?
I believe 2021.
It was like July,
Yeah,
right? And then we hadn't seen a Maddox. What'd you say, Cody? 05?
Oh, it's been a while.
05, Rich Harden.
Yep.
Is there not something so a caller nicknamed him that, then other callers make him the coat? All I did was deliver the coat, and then the coat is hanging in his locker.
Yeah. I mean, if they shut out the Orioles tonight, it's going to be can't deny it anymore.
I think it's a full-blown MLB Network special if that happens.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Don't you like that the Orioles are coming to town when the A's are playing well?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're coming off, say you take, what happened to the A's in Anaheim last week and you're going into this series, you're feeling a lot worse. It's regardless, it's a tough series. I mean, the Orioles are a great team, but definitely some momentum after that series for sure.
How much do you look over to the dugout and you go, aha? Now, I know there's a lot of there's high draft picks there, but everybody could add Gunnar Henderson. They're not all like, so it's like, how much do you look over at the Orioles and you kind of look at yourself?
Yeah, no, I asked Kotsay basically that same question pregame. I mean, you look at this team and, I mean, a lot of things have to go right for you. Every rebuild doesn't end up like that. I mean, that was like kind of the perfect storm. But you know, you look at this A's team and all these guys. I think today's lineup has 6 guys that they've drafted, and you know, all these guys basically have come up through their organization, whether they were traded for or drafted. So I think you look at that team across the dugout, and it's kind of the blueprint for, you know, we're going through a rebuild right now. When we come out of this, this is kind of what we're striving to be. We want to be this team that developed their young guys into winners, guys who have won throughout the minor leagues. They come up, get that experience, go through their ups and downs like this A's team is going through right now. And at the end of it, develop into good major league players, guys who you can count on every day to go out there and compete, you know, play competitive baseball and successful baseball back with this team that's been missing, obviously, since they started this rebuild in 21 after 21.
Yeah, we were just, and I did this with David Force, the general manager, the other day, where I said, you know, if I'm just kind of looking ahead, and I say, I can see Toro at third. I can see Jacob Wilson at short. If not, Max Schumann. I can see Geloff at second, Soderstrom at first, the two-headed monster of Langeliers McCann behind the dish. Andujar out in left, Bleday in center. However right field works out. Right field will be interesting. As of right now, could be Butler.
Yeah.
Could be Colby Thomas. My guy Henry Bolte's coming at some point. Might be somebody. It might be, you know, with money like Aletmus Diaz being off the books, Jace Peterson being off the books. Maybe you go out and spend a little money on an outfielder. I don't know. Right field will play itself out.
Yeah.
Brent Rooker at DH. I look at that and I go, I'll take that to Sacramento. I think you can compete with that.
For sure. I mean, I've been looking at this lineup really over the past month or so, and they've really formed like a nice lineup that you can count on every day, especially at the top there with Bleday, Rooker, and Duhar. You know, even, you know, Geloff starting to hit a little bit more. And obviously that's the main guy who you look at is, you know, what he did last year. He was the guy coming into this year with the high expectations. It was tough for him to go through those struggles. It was tough for the A's to see him go through that, but they allowed him the time to work through that. And now it seems like obviously June was his best month. And, you know, he'll try to get that going forward into the second half, see if he can, you know, put together a more continued success like he did in June. But you look at those first 4, 5, 6 guys in that lineup, and it's a formidable lineup for sure. It's a lot better than it was last year and certainly 2 years ago. So they do have some pieces in place that they didn't have before, and that's what you want to see. You want to see progress, and we've seen progress this year. Maybe the wins and losses aren't where they want it to be. They obviously had that rough stretch after they went 17-17, but in terms of big picture, looking at progress that you want to make, they do have the makings of a lineup that, you know, you trust going forward into the next season.
Now, obviously, Geloff he's got to have a better second half.
Yeah.
But the two guys I think about as they get comfortable and as they start to figure it out, how this thing looks dramatically different. Soderstrom, we've seen the power, we've seen the ability. We're now starting to finally see it with Lawrence Butler. Those two guys get going, this is a different deal. For sure. I mean, those are the guys that that's the core, right? When, you know, they went into this rebuild, they kind of identified those 3 guys, Geloff, Butler, and Soderstrom. I mean, it was New Oakland, right? That was what Lawrence Butler called it a couple years back in spring training. And, you know, those are the guys that this organization views as, you know, they can be the leaders of that new wave. And we saw with Geloff last year, you felt like, okay, this guy is going to be our leader going forward. But he's not immune to the struggles like any young guy that comes up and has success, and guys make adjustments to him. So he's worked through that. It has been nice to see Butler get a chance here since he's come back to play every day now. And it seems like, he hit that bomb yesterday, and he seems like he's swinging the bat a lot better, and Soderstrom as well. But it all comes down to just playing every day. I think that's all they need is just playing every single day, letting them work through those struggles. You know, and sometimes guys don't get that. Sometimes you're going up and down a lot, and it's tough to, you know, gain confidence when you're not playing every day at the big league level. That's the only way that you're going to really gain that experience. I mean, you could go down to AAA and hit 350 or whatever, and that's going to give you some confidence. But until you start doing it at the major league level and finding that success, you know, it's going to be ups and downs until you kind of break through. And that's what these guys are trying to do. And Soderstrom, I mean, by far, he's a lot better than he was last year. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, he was their number 1 prospect. He was their guy who they were counting on to be, you know, the guy. Came up as, you know, basically a teenager last year, very little AAA experience. And, you know, all these guys, they just need reps. That's what it comes down to, playing every single day. And I think there's no reason why they shouldn't play every single day going forward here. And to be fair, you know, you still have Ryan Noda down there. Yeah. Noda's been taking a lot of, speaking of reps, he's been getting reps in the outfield. We already know he can play first base. Brett Harris is getting a run right now at third base. Yep. And there's going to be other players. You know, Jacob Wilson's coming. Max Muncy might have a say in this thing. So there's players down there. So I go back to competition's a good thing, but we're starting to see that there is talent. Any type of competition would be good. It shows that you got some players. I want to talk to you about on the starting side. When you start to JP Sears, to me, he's a steady Eddie guy. Anytime you have 30-plus starts, you're going to have good ones. You're going to have stinkers. You're going to have mediocre. But it's a big deal to make 30-plus starts. You need those guys. I want to focus on the younger guys. When you start looking at who's going tonight, Hogan Harris, you start looking at Mitch Spence, what Joey Estes just did. Joey Estes is going to join us here in the Treehouse. Luis Medina, his last start in Arizona. It's like, whether they're great or they're not, it's like, I need to see them. I don't care who's coming off the IL, right? It's kind of really a tough call because there's a couple of veteran guys who are coming off the IL.
Yeah, no, that is going to be some interesting decisions there, what they end up doing with that. Because for me, like the rotation, you look at the first half, that's been, to me, the standout thing to me is just how these guys all came up, or whether in Mitch Spence's case came from the bullpen to the rotation, and they've stabilized that rotation. I mean, you say at the beginning of the year, you're going to lose 4 of your first 5 starters. You feel like it's going to be a catastrophe, but they've been the guys keeping them in games, and a lot of times it's been kind of the offense or the bullpen unable to hold leads, but this rotation, more times than not, they've been able to give these guys a chance to win ball games. And, that's, you want to see them, again, like position players, get a chance to start every 5th day, develop a routine. It's hard when they're moving to the bullpen and then having to come back and make a spot start. And even JP Sears, I mean, he's basically, in his second full season as a big leaguer, so it's not like he's like a vet or anything. I was just talking to him before the game about how he's kind of tinkering with the slider and going back to the slider that he had a couple of years ago and throwing both now. So, these guys are all trying to learn things on the fly, kind of at the big league level, still finding themselves and what their strengths and weaknesses are. But yeah, that rotation, you look at those guys, it's basically 4 rookies and JP Sears, and they've kind of stabilized that thing. There's been ups and downs. Luis Medina has his good starts and his bad starts based on how his command's doing on a certain night. But for the most part, this rotation, it's going to be, like I said, an interesting decision once these healthy or these injured guys like Blackburn, Stripling, and Wood come back, with how they kind of maneuver that, what they can decide with those young guys who are pitching well right now.
It's changed for us in baseball the way we now want to highlight everything during the All-Star game. And it's good for the sport. I hope the All-Star game starts getting better ratings, or we got to figure out, because it's the ratings stink. But I like how the fact that throw the draft, throw the rookies, throw the home run. They're trying to do everything because you have no competition. There's nothing else you're battling in the summertime. You should own baseball. You should own the summertime. You should own July. No NBA, no hockey. Olympics hasn't started. You should own this, right? And years ago, you'd have 20-something million people watching the All-Star game, and each year it's been the worst rated All-Star. So hopefully they'll own it, the draft and all of that. But it's also kind of kept the chatter of the trading deadline down a little bit. And then after that, it's a flurry. Yeah. But right now, what are you hearing? Are you hearing anything? Do you hear any rumors? What do you got when you're out there looking?
With this team, obviously everyone looks to Mason Miller. That's like kind of the national thing. Are they going to trade him or not? I still, to this point, don't get any sense that they're seriously entertaining that. That could change in a few weeks, but at this point, a guy like Brent Rooker, even, I don't feel like there's much of a chance on that front that they trade him, unless, again, another substantial offer for him. They do have some pieces that would be interesting. A guy like Miguel Andujar, I'm sure a lot of teams are going to call on him. They got a few bullpen guys that I'm sure a lot of teams, every team's always looking for relief help at the deadline, and they've got some arms who have performed well this year. But I think it's still kind of early at that point. I haven't heard anything like close with any player on this team specifically. I know we have seen a couple of trades go down already, but to me, it's still kind of early for that.
I'm not going to be shocked. I say it over and over again. Front offices do not want to deal anybody they deem as a good prospect. They just do not want to. Yep. It's just the way they are. And I don't see any of our players being that big of targets that you're going to land a big prospect. I could see David Forst this time around really not doing anything and taking this team that we talked about, at least the guys we've mentioned today, taking them to Sacramento. I'm not going to be shocked if he really doesn't make a move.
Yeah, I could see some lower, like I said, lower level moves, like last year that like Sam Maul or those type of guys. But I don't see like one of their stars. It would take a lot, I think, and like you said, more and more GMs don't want to trade those guys who are top tier prospects. And for these specific two guys who everyone's seemingly talking about, Miller and Rooker, you should ask for a lot because those guys are key parts of your team. They're not going to be free agents anytime soon. Brent Rooker is making the minimum, basically, and Mason Miller's a rookie. So there's no need to move these guys right now. It's not like you're going to have to, pay them next year much more. And if you lose them, I mean, you're losing a big part of, why your team has had some success this year. And a guy like Brent Rooker, I mean, he's so valuable, not just what he does on the field, but in that clubhouse, he's a leader. I mean, he's a guy he's called, team meetings when they've been down and kind of helped them get back on track. And he's a resource for the hitters, very smart hitter, who a lot of guys go to with questions. So I think the price you'd pay to lose him, you'd have to get, a substantial return. So yeah, I could see that. I could see them not moving, their main guys and maybe holding on to them for next year. Yeah.
Rooker's been a lot of fun to watch because I brought it up. I think it was yesterday in the post-game show. I said, took a lot out of him to make the team, and then he got out to that hot start. And then after that, it was a big struggle for 2 months. 2 months hitting under 200. It was really hard. But, now he's more the complete guy. It's been a lot of fun. We are starting today officially Fraud Friday. Who is your fraud? And I just noticed, looking at both of us right now, look at us two company hacks, right? You got MLB – you got the A's. We're just two company guys.
Oh, yeah. Company guy.
So starting with the Fraud Friday, these two guys. But I'll
Frauds.
give you your opportunity. Fraud Friday. Who would you call out as a fraud? Who's your fraud for Fraud Friday?
What are we
You
talking
can go anywhere you want. I can tell you mine's going to be the Yankees.
Ooh.
And I got all this data behind not only they're losing, how much they've been spending.
Yeah. Wow.
Brian Cashman and the Yankees are going to be my first Fraud Friday. And I have data to back it up.
Oh, man, that's a tough one.
Fraud. Give me a fraud.
Fraudulent
Fraud
teams.
Friday.
Shoot. I might go Yankees too. That they've, kind of been, I feel like overachieved a bit.
Wasn't that long ago? They're the most home runs. They're the best record. They had the best ERA. And you go, what's coming. They're unathletic. They're not as good. They always get propped up. And it's like, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Our sport is the last sport that still wants to play the market game. Have you noticed that?
Right.
We're the last sport. It's the big markets. It's New York. It's like in the NFL, they don't care. Like the Cincinnati Bengals can be the hottest story, right?
Right.
In basketball, you can have the Utah Jazz, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, in our sport is the one that still talks about big markets, small markets. We're like the last sport that still does that.
Yeah, I think, especially like NBA, it's more like the players, right? A player could be anywhere. Like you said, she'd be in Charlotte, but if he's like a great player, you're going to see those guys on the national, games and stuff. It's not necessarily, the New York Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are good now, but it's not like
they've been terrible forever.
Yeah, if they're bad, you're not going to see them all the time. Like in the Yankees case, I mean, we do see them a lot when they're down.
The two New York football teams have been bad for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like no one. Our sport still tries to hold on to the New York, and it's like everybody else, all the other sports have moved on from that.
Yeah, you're sure. But back to the fraud thing, I can see the Yankees being a fraudulent team for sure.
All right.
You're making a fraud.
Appreciate it.
Great. That was a great call.
MLB.com. He's the best guy covering the A's. He's the best we got. You're the man.
Appreciate it.
All right, what do we got coming up next? So we Joey Estes is coming, right?
We're waiting for Joey Estes, yeah.
The guy who threw a Maddox.
That was incredible.
Most people, Mark Kotsay told us he didn't even know what a Maddox was.
I don't think Joey Estes knew who Greg Maddox was, to be honest.
I said we need to ask that question.
I mean, he's 22. I mean, what can you? I don't blame him. I'm sure he's heard the name, but I don't think he went back and watched Greg Maddox highlights. I don't think he did.
He wasn't grinding Maddox tape?
No, I don't think so. He might have been more like a Scherzer guy or something.
We got more coming up next right here. Hey, by the way, Sunday, don't forget, get your Rollie Fingers bobblehead. That's a cool – he's standing on the mustache. Have you seen the bobblehead?
No, that's awesome.
Conseco's on the 20th.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? We got
Chris Davis.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable bobbleheads coming up. He doesn't know Greg Maddox.
He might. I don't know.
Well, you're going to find out. Does he know Greg Maddox? I'm going to put him to the test.
He might now. No.
Coming up on A's Cast Live.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? On the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
August 5th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps would like to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop to receive a pack of cards, plus receive a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products while supplies last. You can also celebrate International Trading Card Day with Topps on August 5th at the Oakland Coliseum and receive an exclusive A's card pack. Follow @Topps on social media and visit Topps.com for more information.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit Xfinity.com/network management.
This is the place where you can dance like nobody's watching, win like nobody's business, and get away like you mean it. So what are you waiting for? Come join the party. Take that evening out and make it a night you'll never forget. This kind of action can't be beat.
It's summertime, and I can guarantee you probably need to redo your wardrobe. You want to look good, and you want to feel comfortable. This is Chris Townsend, and you got to go check out my friends at Link Soul. They've got all the finest fabrics. You're going to love the shirts, the polos, the shorts, you name it. Redo your look for summertime. Go to linksoul.com right now, and you can get an offer for 20% off. Remember, in the big leagues, to play good, you got to look good.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next and where to put all my new bumper stickers. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
And the underdog Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Rollie Fingers, Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Zerata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game times, schedules, and more.
A's Cast Live continues from Rickey Henderson Field. Here's Chris Townsend.
I was promised a mustache. This marketing group over here, promised me a mustache. I got nothing. But what I do have is the Rollie Fingers bobblehead.
I mean, I'm right here.
No one cares about you.
You said a mustache, so it appeared.
On the box, Rollie Fingers, right-handed pitcher, 341 career saves, which was the record at the time when he retired. A 2.90 career ERA. Remember, he had a bunch of starts. 1,299 career strikeouts, 7-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion, the 1974 World Series most valuable player. A's number retired in 1993, Athletics Hall of Fame 2018, and voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1992. Arguably one of the greatest pitchers. Just give you an idea. You get all that on the back. This is what the bobblehead looks like. He's standing on the mustache. Does it look a little foggy when I do that?
It's a setting we have with the camera. We focus where
he's standing on a mustache. It's awesome. Sunday, come check it out. I have made the case that Rollie Fingers is not only one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I could honestly go data for data point with any of you Yankee hacks and talk about how he could be the greatest reliever of all time. And Rollie Fingers is the last human being to call me on a landline.
It's fitting.
You've been holding this. Why do you keep holding this?
Well, we're promoting the Treehouse Happy Hour.
You've been holding this.
The drink
for
is the Harvey Wallbanger. It's even fitting because, Rollie was on that team, Harvey's Wallbangers.
All right.
So Harvey's Wallbangers, the specialty cocktail. I asked what it is. It's vodka and orange juice and Galileo is what they said. I don't know what that is, but vodka and orange juice and the beer on draft for $10 is Blue Moon. Brewed at Coors Field.
My Mets are up on your Paul Skeens. I'm so over Paul Skeens. I'll get his 5 innings, and he'll be tell me how he struck people out, and he's the greatest of all time. He's already given up 2 runs today. Uh-oh.
Jeff McNeil took it deep.
Uh-oh.
Jeff McNeil, who can't hit anymore.
Raise the Jolly Roger. Maybe not today. The Mets are red hot.
I already threw in the towel in their season.
Do you want me to go to the outlook of this game? I can give it to you.
Is Grimace going to show up? The Furries are in Pittsburgh.
Is that the most overrated thing? Is that Grimace is showing up to every road ballpark? Finally, thank you. Finally, someone in marketing gives me, I can have the mustache in honor of my friend Rollie Fingers.
It looks like, I kind of like to see you pull that off.
I can't. That is a problem. Remember when everybody was growing mustache in Movember?
Yes.
And was it for prostate cancer?
Yes.
What was it? Okay, so you have to start on November 1st. I'm pretty pathetic as a man when it comes to facial hair. I admit it. Now, it's been great for me in my life that I don't have to shave all the time. I can go a couple days without shaving. Easy. versus like our friend Brody Brazil, who he can shave in the morning. By the afternoon, he's already got his beard back.
Yeah, I have to shave every couple days when I do it, especially with the mustache. But yeah, I think the most I've ever seen you facial hair wise and hair wise was when we all did it during COVID.
Now, yeah, I could get I had the long hair going during COVID, and I really enjoyed it. I just had the golf visor on every day.
Yeah, you look like Chip Kelly, like you're ready to call some plays with Chip Kelly and Mike Gundy.
I look like Kelly Lee from the Bad News Bears, if you remember the long hair. But it's straight, because my hair is actually straight. I know people don't think I put product in my hair and that this is all natural. I know. Michael's been saying it. You put product in your hair? Well, yes, I know. I don't mean to burst your bubble. I wanted you to think it was all natural. Cocoa butter from the islands.
Actually, Billy Bean's the one that called it out the best at one time. Billy's like, what do you put in your hair? Your hair looks great.
Yeah, and then he tried to accuse me of dyeing my hair.
Yeah.
I have never dyed my hair. I will someday.
I mean, I think everyone does at one point, right?
I will. I just never have had to. It's the Aveda grooming cream is what I use, and
that's what you told Billy. Yeah,
it's kind of you can still see the gray, you just don't see it that much. But there will be a time when I do have to dye my hair, and I will be honest because I'm honest with our fan base.
I told my wife already once it goes gray, I'm just gonna let it go.
No, I'm not. I will keep. I will not till I grow old, and I have grandchildren. Will I go full gray?
Okay, well,
but I don't have to worry about it because I've been going pretty strong here.
Yeah, I mean, for your age, you're not that old. No gray.
No, I'm in my prime, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have.
Ace Cast, don't worry. We're in our prime. We're just we are. You have no idea where we're taking this thing.
I mean,
do you listen to this post-game show and people are calling from all over the United States and all over the world?
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
We're big in Hawaii now. All of a sudden,
getting callers from Hawaii. By the way, if you want to take care of me in Hawaii, I will be in Hawaii. Next week at this time, I will be in Hawaii.
Fact, yeah.
Fact.
I'll be, as I told you, well, we didn't tell Cole on the air, but I told Cole I'll be heckling him from the bullpen in Baltimore.
You know what? As the fearless leader of this thing, yes, this is the stuff I do all day long. I go through all the notes. I highlight. I can tell you what's going on in each game in Major League Baseball. I do that every day. But when I go on vacation, I'm not watching anything. I don't care who you draft. I do, but when I'm in Hawaii, I don't care about your home run derby. I don't care about the team. I do this every day.
Wait, you're saying we shouldn't both when we're both coming on vacation, stop everything and do a special on who we drafted?
Nope. I got golf scheduled. I got snorkeling scheduled. I got beach. This is my last vacation with my children before they're college students. This is the last kind of like the innocence will be gone because you know what happens when you go to college. Well, you might. You were a nerd.
I worked all the time.
He was one of these nerd. He's like a front office nerd in college.
Yeah, I didn't live on campus. So
you lived at home, huh?
I did. Yeah, I commuted to school, and that's why I'm not $150,000 in debt either.
You lived with your mommy and daddy during college. Well, my kids won't, and neither did I. And you're going to go to college, and you need to study, and you need to graduate, but you're going to have some fun. And you're going to go and you're going to make some mistakes and you're going to try some things. But so I know what's happening when my kids, I can see Cal from where we are. When my kids become Cal Bears and I become a Cal honk.
Cal investor.
And I've never been a Cal fan until now, and now I'm a Cal fan.
My friends were like, hey, we want to go see Cal in Miami play. And I'm like, I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh, it's a bad one. They were like, why? I'm like, as a proud San Jose State season ticket holder, we have a game that day against Nevada, and I already paid for those tickets.
We don't even know when the Cal game is against Miami. It's not even on the.
I just know it's week 5 or something.
TBD.
Yeah, the timing. Yeah, maybe I could do both. I've done that once before.
We will be doing both. San Jose. Well, we got to get the new San Jose State coach on the show.
Yeah,
show him our love. Because this is about, you might say, well, it's South Bay. You're damn right it's South Bay, and it's San Jose State. You don't like it? Stick it. I don't see any college around here. Where's the college? Where's the football? No, Berkeley's up there. Don't be sticking that Oakland thing in me. It is San Jose. It is San Jose State. Remember that. I almost went after right field Will, and he's a friend. I'm angry. You start talking Spartan football. We play Stanford this year. I can't wait.
Is that the first game of the year?
No.
No. First game of the year is against Sac State, I think.
We're going to hammer Stanford.
It's either Sac State or
hammer Stanford.
Yeah, Troy Taylor's.
Remember that you probably weren't around here when we beat Stanford 3 straight years, and Stanford went, I don't think we want to play anymore. All right, back to baseball.
That was before Harbaugh.
Do you know who has a little trivia for Mr. Trivia? Do you know who has the best home record in baseball and who has the best road record in baseball?
Guardians are the best home record.
We've talked a lot about that. I knew you'd get that. Who's got the best road record?
Whoever the Guardians are playing, which is, I'm trying to think of who they're playing. No? Okay. Road record.
Road Warriors.
The Twins.
Your Baltimore Orioles, the team that is here today, they are a proud record holder on the road of 26-15. I love this matchup for the A's today. I love it because you're playing well. You're having a bad year, but we get it, and the young guys are now playing. I don't have to figure out. I haven't seen the lineup. Before I make this comment, I'm going to check the lineup.
I'm going
to check the lineup real quick.
It's out, but
I'm going to check the lineup before I make this comment. Don't get myself in trouble. Correct. All right. So you got Blade, Andujar, Rooker, Soderstrom, Langeliers, Geloff, Butler, Harris, Schumann. A lot of A's draft picks. So I'm not talking about Aletmus Diaz. I'm not talking about Jace Peterson. I'm not talking about Nevin or Cameron. I'm talking about guys that have the potential to be a part of our future, right? That's what I'm talking about. These kids are playing the Baltimore Orioles. I'm not having to find Aletmus Diaz at bats.
Yeah. Also,
this game matters for these guys. This is great for Tyler Soderstrom. This is great for Geloff. This is great for Butler and Schumann and Harris. Hogan Harris on the mound. It's great. Harris, Medina, Mitch Spence. This is perfect for these guys. Whether the A's win, get their ass kicked, this is great experience for our players to grow and get better. I love that we're feeling good about ourselves. We've had a sweep of the Angels. All right, it's good to feel good about yourself, right? You're going to measure up. That's why, in certain sports, you love the Bulls came to town. Hey, how do I match up against MJ? I know how great MJ is, right?
Yeah.
Or like when golfers said, I love playing against Tiger Woods. I want to see how my game translates. All right, here you go. We know the A's are not the Orioles. We get it. But right now, I think where our players are, and we're playing the right people. We're playing the right guy. I wish Toro was playing. By the way, I talked to Abraham Toro today. I know I mentioned it with Martín Gallegos. I went over. It's just him and me. Went over. Hey, man, how's it going? So we think it's good because he's been dealing with the shoulder, the hammy, right after the All-Star break. Toro is a part of this. Remember, at one point, he's had the most hits in May. So, but I do like that we're stacking it up. Like these are our draft picks. These are our guys. It's their draft picks and their guys, right? So let's see how the A's match up. Now, I'll ask you even the best question. If you get, I don't think you will be able to get this. You know what? I will buy you dinner tonight if you're able to get this game. I got to see where it is. I will buy you dinner if you get this one correct. Tonight, we have the worst road record in baseball. The
White
worst.
Sox.
At home against the worst home record.
The Rockies.
No.
Oh, it's the Marlins.
The Marlins.
White Sox and Marlins.
White Sox own the worst road record at 9-35. Marlins had the worst home record at 16-30. You know what that means? Somebody's got to win.
Yeah. Somebody's going to pull out the gutter. Well, not really.
And you know what? Somebody's going to be gambling and making money off of this game.
Did you see the play Luis Robert?
Patrick, get me the over and under on tonight's game. We already know the Orioles are the favorites.
Did you see the play Luis Robert made yesterday after
and you
dogging
guys go to ESPN Bets, huh?
The play that Luis Robert made, he made a diving catch in like the first inning yesterday, making up for the lollygagging he did on that final out a couple days ago.
I want to love him. According to you, the French Cuban.
Yeah, Robert. Yeah.
He's on my fantasy team, which, by the way, we do not play for anything. Is that correct, Vito? Our fantasy league does not play for anything. So we're MLB rules, we're good. That is correct. Because you can't play for anything. As long as you don't play for anything, we're good.
Hope and worry.
We can't even play for like an A's elephant teddy bear. We can't play for him. We don't play for anything, but so we're in the – we have now taken the MLB policy, the gambling policy quiz / watch video now for the second time in a year. I am up on everything. We can't bet dinners anymore. That's all gone. So I am up to date on what I can and cannot do. I know I can go to Reno on my football trip in late October and bet all the football I want.
Yeah, just baseball. Just baseball.
Yeah, we cannot bet baseball. We can't bet baseball even in Nevada.
Anywhere, no.
Anywhere. But even though it's legal, I did not know. Did you know? If you're watching us in California or listening to us in California, you may not know this, but if you live in other states, 13 states, sports gambling's legal. No, A's Orioles. 8.5.
Ooh.
By the way, we cannot give our opinion on that.
Correct.
8.5.
Suarez and Hogan Harris.
Suarez,
he's pitched well lately.
Former first-round pick. They've acquired. So you know what's funny about the Orioles? They not only have a lot of first-round picks of their own, they've acquired other people's first-round picks. But even guys that are like Mountcastle, Santander. Santander was like a second-round pick a long time ago.
Cedric Mullins.
So they got their guys. They've been using their guys. I think it's a great model for – I don't know if you'll ever be able to do this route again in baseball.
What, the tanking?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Like,
although baseball really hasn't done anything the draft lottery kind of –
They changed it, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, you can be the worst team in baseball and end up with, like, the 5th or 6th pick. Is it worth tanking and ruin – because the Orioles, as much as the Orioles have become this darling in Major League Baseball right now, we like the Orioles, right? Cole Irvin's a buddy of ours. We love having Cole on the show. Cole Irvin, we will play our interview that we did with Cole Irvin earlier. Hyde, their manager, has been on this program. He's from Santa Rosa. He's a Bay Area guy. So we like him. We like him a lot. So we've been good. But problem is they've still had some issue with building back their fan base. Well, can we – I'd rather talk to Joey Estes than you.
I mean, I would too.
What's up? Good to see you. All right. I don't know if you saw the interview in spring training. Do you remember what I said to you in spring training? It's okay if you don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember having that conversation, but
I told you you'd be back.
Yeah.
I told you you'd play a big part. I said you'd be back. I know you're going to be back. Go down there, do your thing. You will be back here, and you will play a prominent role. I said that in Mesa, Arizona in March. What happened? Are you here?
I'm here.
Are you playing a role?
Yes, sir.
I told you. I wasn't lying.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How did that complete game shutout feel?
I mean, I'm still kind of processing it. Like, I mean, I understand what happened, and it's crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy feeling just to even have some of my family there. It was just everything. It was just an electric crowd, too, and just everything it lined up perfect. It was a great day.
This is who you are, and we've known that for a while. Maybe a lot of our viewers and our listeners don't know, but this is the mentality that you have inside, that you are the kind of guy, give me the ball. I don't care who it is. I'm going out there to win the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm that guy for sure. I want the ball in my hands all the time, and I want to go out there and put my team in the best position possible every time I go out there for sure.
So I noticed early on not a whole lot of sweepers because we talked in the offseason about it. That's something you worked on. Now, whenever you look at Baseball Savant, do I take everything that I read there? That's perfect. But I didn't see as many. There's more now. So game plan, what has changed for you right now? What are you doing more of?
Yeah, so in the beginning of the year when I was in AAA, in spring training, I was throwing my sweeper. And then at the very last game that I pitched in the spring training, I got a blood blister on my finger, and it just kind of affected the way I was throwing the ball, and especially with the sweeper. So I kind of just banged it and just kind of let the finger heal up a little bit, because every time I would throw it, it just wasn't feeling good. And also, I also banged it for another reason, just because I wanted to focus really on my slider, my gyro slider versus my sweeper, and just really focus on just one movement, and then just get that one feeling down. And then once my finger got feeling better, and I was able to focus on another pitch, and then just kind of go after it with that, and then just gradually start getting more comfortable with it as the time's gone on, and now I've gotten a lot more comfortable, like I said, and now I'm able to throw it in behind in counts and stuff, like important counts that I need to throw it in.
And the reality is you did the right thing. When the blisters, you just got to give it time to heal. It is what it is. When's the last time you threw a complete game?
So I threw a complete game in low A 21. I was with the Augusta Green Jackets, and
21
in 2021. Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't a shutout though, so the shutout is completely different. And even just throwing a complete game in the big leagues is different in general. And
no doubt.
Like I said, pitching in front of that crowd, like I haven't pitched that far into a game before with that much people into the game, and just it was electric. So it was fun.
I noticed in between innings something we don't see a lot, but you throwing the weighted balls up against the dugout to stay loose. What is that like when you start getting to inning 7, 8? Offense is going a little bit. It's taking a little time. It's trying to stay loose.
Yeah, so I actually kind of just added that. Not gonna lie. It's just kind of one of those things where I think I need to stay more loose, like you said, like during the middle of the game, like middle of the innings. Like I don't think I've been on top of that as well as I should have been, and that's just something I added within the past 3 weeks. And every inning that I'm sitting, once we get 2 outs, I'm up there throwing, just getting the arm loose, getting the arm path going, and just get myself prepared for that following inning.
All right. When you're getting into those late innings, are you letting them know there's no way in hell I'm coming out of this game? I know I'm only 22, but no way in hell I'm coming out of this game.
I mean, that's my mentality the whole time I'm out there, even if I'm in the, third inning or the first inning. Like, my mentality is to go out there and finish this game, put my team in the best position that I possibly can. And if that's with the ball in my hand, that's with the ball in my hand. But I'm going to do everything I can to put my team in the best position.
Did you know what a Maddox was before you threw one?
I didn't know a Maddox was under 100 pitches, but I guess I know who Greg Maddox is.
Yeah.
I play with the Braves, so just they know, they talk about him a lot.
Thank you, because they're like, does he even know who Greg Maddox is? I'm like, he has to know who Greg Maddox is.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that I didn't really know, but I just thought a complete game might have just been a Maddox in general, just because he threw a lot of them. But I didn't know it was under 100 pitches. But that's something that he did a lot too, was throw complete games under 100 pitches. So.
You've thrown really well at home. What's the difference for you, home and road?
I just had a few bad games on the road, kind of inflated my ERA a little bit. But I mean, I feel just as comfortable on the road. It sucks that I had 1 or 2 bad games that just kind of ticked it up a little bit, but I feel the same. Everything's the same. Nothing changes when I'm on the road. I have the same routine. Everything's the same. So it's the same.
Now that you've tasted it, how bad do you want more of that complete game, going the distance, being that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I want to be here for a long time, and I mean, this is my dream, and I just want to be here, and that's why I have so much fun. Just you see the way I pitch with personality. It's because I genuinely have fun being out there. I want to be out there. I just love playing this game, and it's who I am. And so that being said, like, I mean, as long as I'm out there, like, I want more of that, and whatever I can do, like, to get more of that, I'm going to try to just push myself as much as I can to get more of that.
And by the way, as a guy who grew up in Lancaster, my old college teammate grew up in Lancaster. I've been to Lancaster. I've played golf in the heat and the wind in Lancaster. I told people the movie The Flintstones was filmed out there.
It was, yeah.
It's east.
Yeah.
Tell them this isn't hot. You go to Lancaster in the summertime.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What people, it's really hot out there, but it's also really windy out there too. It's weird, but
there's a lot of UFO technology that was developed out at in Lancaster. Just to let people know,
there's a lot of that going on.
A lot of unidentified flying objects out there.
Yep. That's why I guess where I got my sweeper, maybe from out there, just a little UFO piece.
Oh, you've seen the disco.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, but yeah, it's a good place to be. It's hot out there for sure.
I have told you in spring training. I'll tell you again now. We've told everybody we believed in you when we saw you first pitch and we got to know you. Say this guy's got big game written all over him. I can't wait to see how after the All-Star break, well, you have another start, but, you know, just the way this progresses, because at 22, this is it, man. The world's your oyster, and you've earned it. Congratulations on the complete game shutout. But this is just the start of a long career.
Thank you so much. I
we just want to be along for the ride.
I'm excited. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
We got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/network management.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? On the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
August 5th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps would like to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop to receive a pack of cards, plus receive a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products while supplies last. You can also celebrate International Trading Card Day with Topps on August 5th at the Oakland Coliseum and receive an exclusive A's card pack. Follow @Topps on social media and visit Topps.com for more information.
This is the place where you can dance like nobody's watching, win like nobody's business, and get away like you mean it. So what are you waiting for? Come join the party. Take that evening out and make it a night you'll never forget. This kind of action can't be beat.
This is Chris Townsend, and it is summertime. You want to look your best, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Commander Cody, we've got our new shipment from Link Soul, all the summer gear. So whether you're playing golf or you're going out for dinner, you're hanging out with your buddies, or you're going to the beach, go see our friends at linksoul.com. And right now they have an offer where you can get 20% off. Go to linksoul.com. Remember, in the big leagues, look good, play good.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
With the sunshine returning, it's time for golf, and more golf at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Cinnabar Hills is also your destination for great food with their beautiful renovated restaurant and quality craft beer selection at their full bar. Featuring a grass driving range and 27 championship caliber holes, Cinnabar Hills Golf Club is the best public course in the Bay Area. For more information, go to cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
Ever wondered what a 30-foot tall pistachio looks like? A giant redwood or Big Sur? Chevron with Techron will be there to help you see them and tons of other places you have to see to believe. Because with unbeatable mileage and a clean engine, cars feel great. So next time you want to fill up on a little adventure, an awkward family photo, or a new commute to work, make sure to fill up at Chevron's along the way. Your car and your memories will thank you. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding. Love where you sleep.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try the world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
And the underdog Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Rollie Fingers, Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me, or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Like sports, business is about winning. Championship decisions are business decisions based on what it takes to help your company win. And that's why there's UBO Business Services, specializing in helping you win every day by streamlining workflows, managing documents, and providing the best-in-class office technology. Make your championship decision with UBO Business Services. Visit them at ubeo.com. That's ubeo.com.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
You're listening to A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I hate to announce it. The end of Shohei Ohtani. Sad. If you haven't heard, Shohei Ohtani turned 30 today. And you know what these baseball nerds in the front office say? Once you turn 30, it's all downhill. Do you feel bad?
That's why they defrauded. I was looking at frauds. That's why they deferred all of his money, because they knew he was going to be 30.
It's over.
He's like a running back in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I mean, next thing you know, he's going to be playing for the Carolina Panthers. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Whoa.
The Jaguars.
They at least made the playoffs recently. I mean, Carolina's just, I mean, that's a good pool. Is that NFL purgatory now? Is this, you go play in Carolina?
Yeah, but they got, is it them or the Jags who have the pool? Up top, the pool? I can't remember.
Haven't you been to those stadiums?
Yeah. Which one had the pool?
That feels like a Jacksonville thing.
One of them, yes, it's Jacksonville. Has anyone ever seen that? Like, you look up and like people are in like bikinis and swimsuits watching an NFL game.
Well, you got to get people to the ball. You got to get people to
incredible.
the football stadium somehow in Jacksonville. I mean,
that's the biggest city in Florida.
They do got Trevor Lawrence.
It's one of the fastest growing cities in the country.
Makes sense. I mean, the weather's always
it's close to Georgia.
Yeah. Tim Tebow lives somewhere around there, probably.
Florida-Georgia line.
Are you talking about the band or
you
the
big country honk? Where are we? What are we doing? You put me in this treehouse. Everybody, we're talking to people. People are having cocktails. I mean, what do you want me to do?
We got Cole Irvin to play.
How much time we got left in the show? I got my frauds.
We have Cole Irvin and then Kotsay, so I don't know. There's a couple minutes in between.
I have Now the frauds eat Friday. It's going to be Friday frauds. Have you come up with a sounder yet?
There's a couple different ones we can play in between.
I came up with this week. Friday frauds. What's happening?
This man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play.
All right.
Then there's this one. That one's too long. There's this one.
You're faking a fraud.
You're faking a fraud. And then there's a Mark Cuban one that's kind of long, but
I'm allergic to scams. Seriously, this is not.
He's like, I'm allergic to scams. So we're still efforting to find a good one.
We've got to find someone who says fraud, though. You can just do go to the.
You're faking a fraud. You're faking a fraud.
All right. I have my fraud, and I have data to back me up. But before we do that, he's one of our all-time favorites. Cole Irvin is good people. He was a really good A. Obviously, trade him for Daryl Hernandez, who also is a friend of this program. We love having Daryl on. I thought doing the show where we had Daryl and his dad on was really cool. And hopefully Daryl will get back. I mean, that ankle sprain was really, really bad. So I saw Daryl Hernandez earlier today. He's feeling better. But Cole Irvin, whenever he's in town or whenever we take on the Baltimore Orioles, got to have him on the program. Here is the big lefty. We have here on A's Cast Live and A's Cast, one of our all-time favorites since we launched this in 2019. How are you?
Fantastic. Glad to be in Oakland one more time. So it's bittersweet to be back, but I'm so happy to be here, see everyone again, and man, I just love coming to this ballpark.
Yeah, before we start talking about how good things are going for you and the Orioles, and we're always pulling for you, when we talk about the Coliseum and we talk about you coming over from Philadelphia, and this is really the spot, this is the field, this is the team, those friendships that you had, this is where you really put it all together for your career.
Yeah, this was where I became a big leaguer. This is where I learned how to fail, learned how to succeed, learned about making relationships, the quality of those relationships that carry on for a lifetime. Just the people here, just the attention to detail, it's just, there's a lot that I'm thankful for the green and gold and the fans, teammates, coaches, grounds crew. I mean, from everyone top to bottom, it was a blessing to be in the uniform, it's always good to come back and be here.
I think about your time, especially when you first showed up here. It's like the one thing that everybody loves, and loved about playing for Bob Melvin is this was a place you could come be yourself. You could have the big personality, and you guys had a lot of big personalities. You had a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
But you were able to do that here.
Yeah, it was the first time that I had ever felt comfortable in a clubhouse showing who I was and understanding that, like, to play day in and day out and be successful, you do have to show your personality. You can't refrain from holding anything back or try to be someone you're not. And that clubhouse when I came over was perfect for me to really understand how to enjoy the day-to-day grind of Major League Baseball. And so there's just so much love that I have, for the A's and the opportunities that I was given. And like I said, it's where I became a big leaguer. And I learned a lot about myself in the time that I had here.
And your last time here, this is a place, obviously a West Coast guy, this is a place that you pitch so well in this ballpark.
Yeah, I love this ballpark. It's big. Just don't hang a slider to Shohei, and it won't go into the third deck. Outside of that, everything's good. Again, this field is perfect. I mean, the mound was always pristine. There's a good backdrop for pitchers that you don't always think about, but it just felt like I was right on top of the hitter, and I felt like I was going to be able to execute and dominate every time I had a chance to. Anytime I took the ball, and I love foul territory here. Love how big it is.
All right, let's talk about how much fun it is in Baltimore right now. You guys are rolling. You have the best road record in all of baseball. There's so much talent. It's the pitching. It's the home runs. It's the complete package.
How much fun is it being an Oriole right now?
It's a lot of fun. It's fun because I feel like our culture was very similar to the teams that we had or I played for when I was in the A's uniform, and especially 21 when we had all those guys, Chappie, Yoli, Bass, Diekman, all those guys. We have the kind of same personality. We truly love playing for each other, and it's just fun to come to the ballpark every day. It's not work. It's, hey, let's go have some fun and strap it on and get in the trenches, get dirty. And we have plenty of guys in this clubhouse that love to just play hard and get dirty. But, when guys aren't going right, the conversations are always positive. It's always lifting each other up. It's such a unique clubhouse, and I hadn't been a part of something like that since maybe 2021.
And just talk about just uber talent. You got talent everywhere. It's unreal.
Yeah, we got so much talent. Gunnar Henderson, first and foremost, might be a better person than he is baseball player, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable, day in and day out, plays the game the right way. Referencing the last time we were here, and Gunnar, could have hit for the cycle, but legged out a double because he plays one way, and that's hard and to win. And that's just the type of guys we have in here. Austin Hayes is another guy that comes to mind. No batting gloves, kind of old school, approach, but plays hard, plays to win. Adley's such a great, commander behind the dish. And having guys like Craig Kimbrell in the back of the bullpen, Corbin Burns to start our rotation. We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of young talent. Jordan Westberg is a guy that I think goes unnoticed day in and day out. He's batting, I think, around 280 and probably going to be an all-star. And he's so quiet. Like he's not boisterous. He's not outgoing. Like he's just, I came here to play baseball. It's kind of like if you were to create a player on MLB The Show, how like the first, the name of the character is Joe Random. That's Jordan Westberg. That's Jordan Westberg. He's Joe Random. He's just going to get the job done. He's going to have a generic swing. He's just going to execute, and it's fun. But we have a lot of guys. Mateo with his speed. Like I could go on and on about just every single guy.
You guys are good.
We just have so much talent, and it's so fun to come to the ballpark just to watch. We have such a unique vantage point, and something I don't take for granted is being in a uniform on a big league diamond, and to be able to watch the best in the game of baseball go at it day in and day out.
Well, how are you doing? How's everything for you? How's life? How's everything for Cole Irvin? How's everything for you?
We're good. We're good. We had a rough end to the month of June, but that's part of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna pitch well. I didn't start the year well. Had a really good run. Stretch of games through the month of May and into a little bit of June, and then had a couple blips on the radar to end the month of June, but found a lot of good cues that I'm taking to the bullpen now, and gonna try to do my best to execute and give the team my best out of the bullpen. So it's just a lot of fun. We have a really just good dynamic. Coach Steph really knows what we need to do to be better, and I'm great. This is a dream come true every day, being in the uniform.
All right, we got to end on this. Ducks, Big Ten.
Yes.
We always sat over here. We would talk, start a college football season because we got all these Pac-12 guys. Now we don't have a Pac-12. Now we have
a Pac-12. It's just
two. We had a Pac-2. I mean, we have no Big Ten guys.
My grandfather played in the Pac-8.
There was a Pac-6 at one point.
There was a Pac-6.
So we have no Big Ten people here. Like, is it going to be weird?
You know what? I'm looking forward to being able to go to like Michigan or Ohio State and wear Oregon colors. Even they come to Maryland. So that'll be fun to be able to just get an hour flight and be able to see my Ducks on the East Coast. But It's going to be weird. The first year I think is going to be interesting. We'll see how it goes. You know, we're picked to be kind of a favorite in the, what was it, East and West divisions. I'm still getting used to kind of the terminology and everything that's going on because it's a change. But you know, it's going to be fun. I think it's good for football in terms of you're going to have the best teams in the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12. Like, you kind of narrowed it down, you know, the All Coast Conference with Cal and Stanford.
My kids are going to Cal now, and it's like you're an AC. So they're going to be freshmen. They never got Pac-12.
Yeah.
They're just going to know the ACC.
ACC, the All Coast Conference. Atlantic Coast Conference. But yeah,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy. But I will say I am looking forward to the video game coming out. So I'm going to be caught up with the new playoff football format here coming up. You know, there's 12 teams this year, I think.
Yeah,
so that's going to be
right?
I think that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that dynamic works. And the fact that the video game is releasing before the college football starts and people can experience that before it happens, it'll be fascinating. So, yeah, Big Ten, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a grind. I don't think there's going to be a team in the Big Ten. I'm going to throw my prediction out there. I don't think there's going to be a Big Ten team that goes undefeated.
No, and with a Big Ten championship, no way. Hey, one of our all-time favorites. You know, we're pulling for you. We're pulling for you in the Orioles. We'd love to see you guys take it all the way to the house.
Yeah, that'd be
good
fun.
luck to you. And then expect us to call you later in the season.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get one more call. Let's do it.
One of our all-time favorites right here on A's Cast Live.
He's the best. He's the best. And wish nothing but the best for our guy, Cole Irvin. Terrific guy. And, you know, when you're on a really good team, you have expectations and there's great competition. That's why when we talk about what's going on with the A's and we mention like, hey, who do we see really be in the future? And they go, well, what about this guy and that guy? Well, yeah, the more competition you have at all these positions is better for the group. And so if you want to take the ball every 5 days for the Orioles where they are, and they've gained a tremendous amount of ground on there. I think they've gained 4 games in 8 days on the Yankees.
Yeah, because the Yankees are they've lost like 13 of 17.
Oh, you want to talk to you? Oh, by the way, you know, it's only the second time we're seeing the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Oh, this year, it's a Sunday Night Baseball. Oh, great. Yay.
Let me get to that. Red Sox, Yankees.
Red Sox are hot, though.
All right, you ready for my Friday fraud?
Yes.
Friday fraud. I've got 2 different things to show my proof of the Friday fraud. And our inaugural Friday fraud, mine is your New York Yankees. Because every single year I got to read these damn notes, and everybody's got to tell me how great they are. Because remember, the Yankees at one point, June 15th, the Yankees had the best record in baseball at 50-22. They had the best ERA at 2.88. Everything was the very, very best. Remember that?
Yeah. Most home runs are up there.
And what do I do every year? I read these notes and I go, it's not going to last. Juan Soto, sign him now to $500 million.
Hey, it's in the open for Hot Take Tuesdays. Mark the tape. The Yankees will not win the World Series.
How many times do I have to do it? All right, so here you go with your fraud New York Yankees, where everybody said it was the best team. The team to beat. The New York Yankees have dropped 13 of their last 17. During that time, they have a 6.69 ERA. Worst record in ERA in the majors since June 15th. Remember, they had the best record and best ERA on June 15th? They've got the worst record in ERA in the majors since June 15th. They're 0-5-1 in their last 6 series. But that's just not all. This is why I think the Yankees are the biggest fraud, and I'm starting with them on our first ever, our inaugural Fraud Friday. Fraud Friday.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? The Yankees last won the World Series when?
2009.
Who's the last team to hit the most home runs and win the World Series?
The Yankees in 2009.
When's the last time the Yankees were in the World Series?
2009.
Okay. From 2010 to where we are today, Brian Cashman and the Steinbrenner family have spent $3.77 billion on payroll. How many World Series titles again?
None.
How many World Series appearances?
None.
And they've spent $3.77 billion. Billion.
With a B.
If that doesn't mean you're a fraud, and all this talk about the greatness and the champions, as sports has evolved, sports has changed, and they used to be able to spin their way with a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that great run they had at the end of the 90s into the 2000s, there was their core that they had brought up, but the amount of money that they've spent, the fact now when we really talk modern day baseball, where we are now, from 2010 to now, you've spent $3.77 billion, and you haven't even made it to the World Series. You know what? You're my inaugural Friday fraud.
It's a good one because they're not playing well right now.
And how does Brian Cashman, at some point, do you really have to ask yourself, how does he still running the roost?
Well, he's the longest tenured general manager now that Billy Beane is no longer.
How are you running the roost? You've spent all that money, 3.7, and you haven't gotten your team.
And you
to
signed
the World Series.
And the two pitchers you signed recently, Rodon and Stroman, have been terrible for you. Essentially, like Rodon, his last few starts has been awful. He was barking at Boone because he didn't want to come out of the game, but Boone pulled me anyway.
He got lit up.
Stroman gave up 5 runs yesterday against the Reds. Frankie Montas, who you traded for as a Yankee when you're the Yankees, you traded for him. He got his first win at Yankee Stadium as an opposing player. Never won as a Yankee.
Yeah.
So that's a good pick as a fraud for fraud.
That's my inaugural fraud.
I'll give you mine real quick. And no, it's not the Mets for being frauds against Paul Skeens because Pirates are winning right now. Paul Skeens, 6 innings, 2 runs. He's out.
6 innings. He's out.
It's not that. It's going to be the sport overall. A sport of baseball.
You're calling out Major League Baseball?
Get Martín back here with that logo on his shirt.
Wow. We're technically a team that plays in Major League. You're calling out our entire sport?
What does football do really well on Thanksgiving?
Football.
They own the day. What does the National Hockey League do really well on New Year's Day? They play the outdoor game. What does basketball do on Christmas? They own the day. What do we do on 4th of July? Nothing. We all play. There's no national TV games. There's no patriotic bats, shoes.
What day do we own?
None.
The NFL now has done a really great job.
They play on Christmas now.
On owning Christmas.
They're taking it from the NBA.
They've now done a great job on let's play multiple opening games to start taking over baseball. I mean, college football has owned January 1st for all these years. Now they own weeks into everybody is owning moments. So what you're saying is, when do we own a moment?
We don't. I mean, you can even on 4th of July, you could start, say it's a Thursday. Say you want to start a 4-game series. Okay, Yankees, Red Sox. Start it yesterday, not today, because you're trying to play it as the biggest rivalry in baseball. Dodgers, Giants. That should be one. I don't care about Cubs, White Sox, Angels, Dodgers. The big ones you want, that should start on those days. Phillies, Mets, or Phillies, Braves. Something like that. No, we don't do any of that.
Wow. You're calling out.
It was too easy to go, the Blue Jays are frauds.
I'm not trying to pile on your fraud, but in our sport, everybody was talking about Rickwood, Birmingham, Alabama, and everything that was going on. And what did Reggie Jackson say and everything? It was a historic game. Major League Baseball dumped a ton of money into it. Anybody see the ratings? You were basically equal to, and this was a game on Fox. Now, obviously, socially, very important, the message and everything.
Yeah,
that happened.
absolutely.
But we're talking about owning something. Baseball, you were right around or were beaten as you were playing on national television, and you threw everything in with Fox. You lost to Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, not the NBA. Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. You lost to the College World Series on ESPN. You lost or were right around the Olympic trials, not the Olympic Games, the Olympic trials. And oh, yeah, Scotty Scheffler, PGA Tour, not a great field.
The Travelers, right, is what it was.
I mean, this was a game you were supposed to own, and it was historic. You got problems, and it's right what you're saying, man. What are you owning? You're summertime. You're by Saturdays. How you not owning Saturdays? How you not owning this stuff?
Yeah, and Sunday Night Baseball, no one cares about Yankees Red Sox. I'm sorry. Unless you're in the Northeast, no one cares.
I mean, you've got to figure out what you own, how you own it, how you get people back. Really quickly, I want to do one more. This is something that we can do. I did the average annual value of guys in Major League Baseball. Once again, talking about the Yankees. Why is he pointing up there?
Because they had the Pirates are piling on now. The Mets.
The Major League Baseball salaries, the average annual, the top guys in baseball. When we talk about frauds and all the people who talk about you got to spend money, spend money, spend money, spend money, and for the Orioles, don't do it. Keep doing what you're doing, because I'll tell you right now, they have Shohei Ohtani, because even though it's deferred, they have him on there as number one. You know, number two is and highest annual average value. It's Max Scherzer. What are they getting for almost $44 million? The Rangers. I know the Mets dumped them off. What are they getting?
Yeah, well, he just came off the injured list, so not much.
And then the same contract is Justin Verlander with Houston, who's where right now?
The injured list.
What are they getting from him?
Nothing.
Do you know who number 4 is? Tied.
DeGrom
and Aaron Judge. You're getting your money's worth in Aaron Judge. What are you getting from DeGrom?
Nothing. He's not coming back until August.
DeGrom's making $40 million, and he's not playing. And you have no clue what you're getting. He didn't play last year, and you have no clue what you're going to get out of him this year. You know who is 6th? Anthony Rendon.
Oh, boy.
After that, Garrett Cole. What are you getting out of Garrett Cole right now?
He's only been back for a few starts. The other ones are bad, but I'll give Cole a pass because he's been healthy his whole career. The other guys,
but that's not for you. He was healthy for Pittsburgh. He was healthy for Houston. Yes, he won the Cy last year, but this is his contract with the Yankees.
Yeah.
All right. Next on the list, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Mike Trout. I saw the notes for you. You want how bad it's been for Mike Trout? Where are the Angels? Where?
They're the first game. They already lost today. Justin Steele, complete game.
The Angels were the first game today?
Yeah, they played in Wrigley.
Mike Trout has missed the last 9 weeks. Mike Trout hasn't played on July 4th since 2019. I mean, this list goes, okay, now number 9 after Trout is tied 3. Nolan Arenado, love the player. I'm fine with that.
I think I might know who one of them is. Patrick Corbin.
And Steven Strasburg.
Corbin, who stinks, and Strasburg retired.
So here's your list of the highest paid per year. Ohtani, Scherzer, Verlander, Judge, DeGrom, Rendon, Cole, Trout, Arenado, Patrick Corbin, and Steven Strasburg. Do you think that is money well spent?
No, and we're the only sport that fixates on the money.
We're the sport that fixates on money. We fixate on constantly paying players more money, thinking that it leads to things. The Mets right now are hot, but they're the highest payroll. Yankees have spent $3.77 billion since 2010, 1-0, haven't even been to the World Series. What are we doing?
Yeah.
That talking about not owning July 4th, or really not owning any date on the calendar where other sports do that, how our sports are fraught. This whole fascination with money and baseball and more. It almost is a really good, and I'm not up against them. I'm not against them, but it almost is a really good thing that the Boris clients from this past offseason have underperformed. So Snell didn't get the $200 million. Jordan Montgomery and Snell both aren't healthy. Montgomery's back on the IL.
Yeah.
Snell is a joke. Chapman has played well lately, but Chapman's not worth the money, and neither is Bellinger. It's almost good. I mean, there has to almost be a reset and a mindset. Well, the owners make so much money. Well, they're the owners. They should.
Yeah.
I mean, these players are not worth the money.
Yeah.
None of these. I mean, it's really hard to say anybody on this list, the top guys making this money, which is generational wealth, are worth the money.
And now we're going to sit through this again.
Give it to employees like me.
We're going to sit through this now. We're going to sit through this whole offseason. Well, how much is Juan Soto going to get?
Oh, yeah. Juan Soto's going to be worth $500 million. I might want to save this. God, but it's fresh on my mind. Bad team celebrating. The Colorado Rockies. I'm going to do this one. This is another Friday fraud. The Colorado Rockies. I'm watching on Monday night. We have the day off. I know I need to get a life. I'm watching a walk-off win at Coors Field, Milwaukee. Jake Cave ends up getting the base hit for the Rockies. Next thing you know, Ryan Spielborg's, love having him on the program, Sirius XM, broadcaster also for the Rockies. He's interviewing Jake Cave, and oh my God, this was like a big deal. Oh my God, super excited. Charlie Blackmon, it's his birthday. He's dumping Gatorade on Jake Cave. And Spilly stepping back. Chuck Nasty, happy birthday to you. This is like a huge deal. Do you know the Colorado Rockies are on pace for 106 losses? Their franchise record of 103 losses was last year. They set the record for franchise losses last year at 103. They're now on pace for 106. Should you have to earn the ability to dump Gatorade and be super happy after a win? Like, I want us all to have a good time. It is the entertainment business. But I think we need to slow down on post-game celebrations for bad teams. You're going to lose 106 games. You shouldn't be dumping Gatorade on anybody. You should earn the right. Like, when Josh Reddick is pieing people in a Spider-Man costume, we're winning games. But right now, if we had a guy run out in a Spider-Man costume, and I'd be disgusted. Like, you should earn the right to pie people. You should earn the right. In my opinion, to celebrate, you should earn that right. Colorado Rockies dumping Gatorade on people, and you're going to lose 106 games. You can still do the post-game interview. You can still be excited for Jake Cave. But the whole theatrics, it's a little much. And you know what? It makes it we're making it too easy for people to lose in professional sports. You should have to earn the right to have the special things happen. Just my opinion. A little Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn. Hey, you want something cool? We've done something different for this week's manager show. Here is the Mark Kotsay Show.
For the Mark Kotsay Show right here on A's Cast and A's Cast Live, brought to you by Nest Bedding. Love where you sleep. Check out their location in the Bay Area, or you go to nestbedding.com for all your bedding needs, your mattress, your pillows, your sheets. Or if you're in a recovery room like we are now, Mark Kotsay taking us behind the curtain. Kotz, what are we doing and where are we?
Well, we're in a closet that is just off the batting cage, specifically designed for, like you said, recovery, rest recovery. You see some of the things in this room. Obviously, the blanket's nice touch. Right? It's not a nest bedding blanket.
That's fact.
But we've got the cryo machine behind you. You see the recovery boots hanging on the walls. Guys come in here post game or pre-game, depending on if you want to take a nap and just kind of relax. Obviously, the light's off. It's a dark room. But post-game, they'll come in and put the recovery boots on and go through their process.
You know, in sports for so many years, like when I first got into it, when you were first coming up, it was suck it up and play. And we realized from a physical standpoint, also from a mental health standpoint, that's not smart. So talk about now what we know about the human body, what we know. We're dealing with human beings too. There's a lot going on for these players, not only what they're dealing with now, but also what they deal with away from the field. Like having a room like this that you can kind of call your own, like this is a place where I can get well.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a place like we talk about where, you can come pregame, collect your thoughts, really get in the right mindset. Post game, you can come in and work on the recovery aspect of just, getting your legs back under you. Like we say, we play a lot of games, 162 games. There's days when, you're playing 10 to 12 games, or weeks when you play 10, 12 games in a row. And this is an important aspect of just staying fresh and keeping your body healthy for the rest of the season.
The cryo machine, which is fascinating, because I remember first reading about it with the Dallas Mavericks. They got one. They were like one of the early teams, but they had to keep it away from the offices because they were worried Mark Cuban would want to do it all the time. So they moved it away. And so essentially you get in there up to like your neck. And for people out there, what it does is it basically freezes your body, and your body naturally, the blood goes back closer to your heart because your body goes into survival mode, enriches the blood, and then it goes back as you get out and warm up. It goes back. Richer blood goes back in your body, helps you heal faster. Have you done it?
Dr. Towny, look at that. Who would have known that? I know this has just brought so much out of your knowledge for just different things. This is great.
Everybody just thinks I'm the boob taking phone calls after the game. I know a little bit more than you think, but you've done it. Just talk about what it does for your body.
Yeah, it's again another step of the recovery. It's you kind of have to buy into it, just like you're talking about, and the process that it creates, and you have to be consistent with it. I don't think you can't just jump in and do it once. It's got to be something that you believe in, that you make part of your routine, whether it's daily or every other day. And a lot of times, obviously, we don't have access to it when we go on the road. So if you're on a 10-day road trip, you're kind of taking that aspect out of your routine. But again, all these things factor into staying healthy, staying on the field, and getting the most out of the players.
I guess that would be another version of home field advantage. What home teams have versus road teams, especially when you go out on the road for 10, 12 days.
Yeah, it can be, definitely. Your facilities matter. Your preparation, the tools that you have to utilize, whether it's the gym or a recovery room, quiet rooms, dining halls for that matter, the food that you eat. So all of it plays a big part in just, how successful you can be.
We've been having a lot of fun. You probably don't even know about it yet, but we have a caller who nicknamed Scott Emerson Dr. Emo. Then we had Road Trip Mike and the Renegades make a doctor's coat, Dr. Emo, on it. We gave it to him the other day. Since we've given him the coat, you're 2-0 with 2 shutouts. And a Maddox, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't know what the Maddox was, and that's kind of bad on my part, but
since you played in Atlanta?
I mean, I played in Atlanta. I played against Maddox for years. Should have recognized that, yes, most games Maddox pitched, he didn't throw 100 pitches, and it was over quickly. So, Maddox was a guy where your approach was, I got to get him first pitch. He's going to throw me a strike. It's going to be out at third. It's going to have some sink. I better stay on it and hit a base hit to left as a left-handed hitter. And if that worked out, then he would make an adjustment, and then he would front hip you. Then he would throw the changeup down. But no, it was nice to see. The last 2 days have been great. Pitching performances, both obviously from Joey going 9 innings, JP yesterday giving us 5 innings of shutout baseball, and the bullpen coming in behind him and doing a nice job.
That would be a fascinating segment, just through your 17 years going through the greatest pitchers of all time from that era, and you talking about facing them. That would be good. But getting back to the pitching, I thought it was funny you talking after the game for Joey Estes, and I was like, this is the first time you've ever had a pitcher go a complete game in your managerial career.
Yeah, it was. And I couldn't be happier for the kid, and like you talk about for Emo, all the work that he puts in. That's what it's about. It's about seeing these kids really succeed, really grow, coming into their own. The maturation process for a young pitcher can be difficult. Joey's had his ups and downs, but to go out and watch him perform and watch that competitor start really engaging, in that mindset of, I can do this. This is my night. Started happening in that 6th inning. You start seeing him come off the mound in the 7th, and just knowing he was pretty determined to make sure that he pitched the last out of that game.
This kid's got something. When you talk to him, he's got that kind of it factor bulldog. It's been great to see. We've talked to you a lot about JP Sears. I try to tell people on the postgame show, listen, when you take the ball 30-something times, that's so valuable. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad. There's going to be in the middle, but it's huge. We've talked to you a lot about Mitch Spence. Two guys I wanted you to bring up who you got going tonight. Obviously, this will run all week, but also what you saw in Luis Medina in his last start. Talk about Hogan Harris and Luis Medina.
Yeah, I think you're going to see growing pains from these kids as well. It takes time to understand how to pitch. That execution is, as important or maybe even more important than just pure stuff. Medina's got pure stuff. Hogan Harris has great extension on his fastball, which makes it play up. Hogan's done a better job of commanding the baseball, going after and attacking the zone with strikes. That's a positive, right? That's a step in the right direction. We all saw Hogan last year and the struggles he had with his command. Luis Medina, very similar in terms of struggle with command, struggle with getting his fastball in the zone, throwing a breaking ball that starts in the zone and comes out of the zone, as opposed to the breaking ball that's just a ball out of hand, which in AAA you're going to get those hitters to swing at. The major league level, you're not. And I think last start was a real step in the right direction for Luis in terms of understanding how to use his breaking ball, when to be in the zone with it, when to have it in the zone and make it disappear against the Diamondbacks, and we saw results.
Lawrence Butler, last few days, it looks like the Lawrence Butler we saw at spring training when he was tearing it up the past two spring trainings. What have you seen the difference?
Yeah, in Arizona, we brought him in, Darren Bush and myself, really broke it down to him. He needed to make an adjustment. He needs to be a complete hitter, not a power hitter. And the power will be there. He's big, physically strong guy. Yeah. And when he touches the baseball with the barrel, we saw it yesterday, it's going to go. And we have to keep him in the middle of the field. We have to make him understand that they're going to pitch him away. He's got to attack that. It's been a hole this season. I think he's made a good adjustment since Arizona, since the conversation. He's limited some of his movements. We're not trying to take away the leg kick. We're trying to soften it. We're trying to make everything just easier in his movements when he loads. And I think we've seen him make that adjustment. And it was great just to see the result aspect of it.
One of the cool stories, and I've brought it up a couple of times in the post game, is Brent Rooker, who last year to me worked so hard to make the team, got off to that hot start. I know he wouldn't admit it, but I know he was tired. And then those 2 months, he really struggled after that. Makes the All-Star team. But this year, what's so much fun to see is the power, but also the complete offensive player where he's getting hits, which is keeping his average up, which keeps the OPS up. Just talk about how just this year, just more of a complete guy. He's going to strike out, but he's a power hitter, but he's more of a complete package.
Yeah, no, this is I think the Rook that was the college Rooker, really. Yeah. He won the batting title in the SEC. He has power. He's the most powerful player on the team if you measure it by pure strength and force plates, which is another tool we use. Maybe we'll do the next segment in the weight room and kind of go over.
I'll bring in my golf clubs. You'll see my balance.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So Rook is hands down the most explosive player we have. So he's got he can generate the most power. But when you talk about a complete hitter, he's definitely made that adjustment. The two-strike approach, putting the ball in play, he's trying to cut his strikeouts down without eliminating the power, all while he's dealing with a forearm issue that has been, a kind of pain in the rear for him for most of the season.
All right, the last 2 times you guys have come off the road, I've noticed immediately before batting practice, you're working on the small things, fundamental defense. And you guys are playing much better defense. And talk about how when you start making all the routine plays, it's amazing. Here come the great plays that go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You start building confidence. The routine plays are the most important. We say it a lot, like fundamental baseball really comes down to concentration too. And when you're concentrating your focus, you're making those routine plays. Yes, you're going to physically make an error occasionally, but we've worked really hard in getting these guys to understand pre-pitch routine, thought process, anticipating plays, making the right play and eliminating the free bases. And I think, over the last 3 days against Anaheim, we played good, clean defense. We pitched really well. We had some timely hits, and we ended up being on the right side of the wins. And we're going to continue focusing on it. We're going to continue doing things that we feel, now that this roster's kind of changed a little bit with some of the younger guys, we've got a little more speed. We're going to start doing those things like stealing bases. We did a first and third play against the Angels. We pulled that off for an extra run. We're added on runs. We've had a first and third bunt, safety squeeze that was run to perfection. So it's encouraging to see the young guys fundamentally executing the game.
Yeah, playing the game. And let's end on this and kind of get a little love to a man that meant a lot to you in your life. It's a video that's out there right now that I've been sent multiple times.
A 6-minute video.
Augie Garrido, and it's when he's at Texas. And I remember when we played against you guys, he's Augie Garrido, right? He was a legend at Fullerton. This is now him at Texas, national champion. And just the passion that he had, the toughness that he had. I'd love to play it, but we'd have to bleep out a bazillion words.
Yes, you would.
But just talk about what he meant to you, not only in your early years, what he means to you now, how he helped train you, why you played so hard. It's a game for tough guys, and the life lessons you got from him.
It's a game for tough guys, you're right. One of the best lines in that was that if this was a gang fight, I'd be visiting you in the hospital. It's epic, some of the stuff. But I did watch it this morning, and really what he was about was teaching life lessons through the game. And that's how the video kind of ends. His dictation to the end of it is really the game can teach you so much about life. And I'm here to prepare you for that, as well as make you men. And, Augie has left an impression. There's times when I find myself, thinking through what would Augie say or what would Augie do right now.
Like a father figure.
Yeah. And I do miss him. I wish that he would have had the opportunity to be a mentor at this point in my life. But if you get a chance, get on, I think it's on Twitter or whatever they call it now, X. It was sent to me, so I don't have that
it's
stuff.
Everywhere, yeah.
But it's a great watch.
Man, we could just sit back here and get the TV.
Need a blanket or anything?
Yeah, this is great. It's the Mark Kotsay Show.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
August 5th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps would like to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop to receive a pack of cards, plus receive a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products, while supplies last. You can also celebrate International Trading Card Day with Topps on August 5th at the Oakland Coliseum and receive an exclusive A's card pack. Follow @Topps on social media and visit Topps.com for more information.
This is Chris Townsend, and it is summertime. You want to look your best, and I can't tell you how excited I am. Commander Cody, we've got our new shipment from Link Soul, all the summer gear. So whether you're playing golf or you're going out for dinner, you're hanging out with your buddies, or you're going to the beach, go see our friends at linksoul.com. And right now they have an offer where you can get 20% off. Go to linksoul.com. Remember, in the big leagues, look good, play good.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/net.
This has been a presentation of the Oakland Athletics.